Hello, everyone. It is me, Demetra K, and I'm sitting here with Donovan. His heart don't pump no Kool-Aid Sadiq.
Hell no.
And this is our edition, our Friday edition, Free Flow Fridays, where we talk about the things that are trending a little bit on the less serious side of the topics we talk about on Sunday on the Demetra K Show. Mm-hmm. And so for you guys on the podcast, welcome. Spotify, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Podbeam, and YouTube. What's happening to you? If you're not subscribed to our channel, please subscribe.
Yep. Let me add to that. I just did it today. We are also on Tumblr, and we are on SoundCloud.
I didn't even know Tumblr still was around, but apparently it is. And so anyway, let's go ahead and get right into it because we got a lot to talk about. And so hello to everybody. And I'm going to try to keep on top of this thing too because the last time we did it, we're just talking. talking. Al is going crazy. You're not looking at the comments. So anyway, we're going to make sure we get all of the comments here. So anyway, as you guys have probably seen in the last couple of days, T.I., the rapper from Atlanta, he has a couple of television shows. His wife, Tiny and himself, they have a podcast as well.
Tiny Miss I Don't Know Who I Am as a person. I've got to get my eyes colored and, she's a half-breed, but,
Yeah, that Tiny. Mm-hmm. So anyway, T.I. was on someone else's podcast. It's two sisters or something like that. They have a podcast, and somehow his daughter, Deja, came up. Deja is his 18-year-old daughter. And I don't remember the whole context of the conversation, but he disclosed that he takes his daughter to the gynecologist once a year to make sure her hymen is in check. Now,
why can't he just ask her if she's having sex or...
I guess he wants to have it verified.
And if her hymen's intact, that doesn't necessarily mean she isn't having sex either.
Well, the common theory is that if it's broken, then somebody's been up in there.
What if she's an athlete?
Right. And that's the thing. And so T.I., hey Rod, he says, just for people here, you got to do better. Okay, it's something 7. Okay, so anyway, he says that he takes his daughter to the gynecologist. Now, mind you, his daughter now is 18, but it sounds like he was taking her before that. So she's 18 now. So he says basically the doctor's like, well, you got to get consent because she's 18. Consent for us to share the information
with him.
Sounds like he, coerces his daughter into signing consent so he can see that she's still a virgin. That's what he's looking for.
He's probably worried about that because sometimes as fathers, when the mother's a freak and we got with the freak mom and then we have a daughter with her, we are like, oh my God, it's coming back on me.
I guess, but hold on one second. Somebody from the Twilight Zone is on here, so we got to get rid of them. All right, cool. I love that block feature. I really do. I love it. So anyway, he goes to the gynecologist. He wants to make sure that his daughter's still a virgin.
Why? What difference is it going to make?
He doesn't want nobody to de-virginize her, I guess.
It's going to happen one day.
Right. And so the doctor's like, hey, it's there's other ways for her hymen to be broken other than sex. Like you said, she's an athlete. She could be riding a bike, horseback riding. And he's basically saying...
Or just pleasuring herself on her own.
Anything, And so he's telling the ladies on the podcast... that she's not going back horseback riding or riding a bike. So none of that stuff is an issue. Just basically run me the results. Okay, so now we have, everybody's kind of debating it. And a lot of people are saying T.I. is right. And I've heard people or saw people saying, or people who are mad about it, women, I guess especially, is because they don't have fathers in their life. They just wish they had a father who was as involved in their life as T.I. is in his daughter's. And... I'm going to be honest with you guys. Hey, Jonelle, what's happening? Let me make sure I didn't miss anybody else. And let's see. Sydney, what's up? And so I'm really, really, irritated about this whole subject. Okay. Honestly, because to me, it's like T.I. is treating his daughter's body like it's his. You know what I mean? And my sister...
50% of it is, but...
no, she's 18.
No, as a person, he shouldn't do that.
And, my sister actually made a good point in saying it's borderline incestuous.
Yes.
Almost like this is my vagina. You know, I want to make sure my vagina's all right. I want to make sure ain't nobody in my vagina. You know, that's almost like a controlling husband. Wait. Boyfriend.
I remember when I was going over the videos today. We, by the way, for those of you guys that saw one of our shows, it was blocked. It has now been released. So we won the copyright infringement on that. You got a lot of admirers that are like hating on our pages and causing copyright issues and trying to block and just trying to keep our thing on. But anyway, they released it on this video that I saw. Somebody said that her high school sweetheart, when she met her boyfriend for the first time, her dad was like, "Get your hand off my baby."
Yes, my dad was. Okay. My dad is that type of a man, but he's not the type of a man that let's go to the gynecologist. Right. Let's make sure you're intact. To me, that is very disturbing and it's gross and it's creepy. Sure. If you just ask me, I don't even see how anybody can justify this man taking his first of all adult daughter and wanting to, that's like something that's very personal. You know what I mean? Like, I need to make sure she's a virgin. Wow. Well, what's going to happen one day if the doctor says she's not?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Do you know how many fathers that I've bamboozled their daughter's virginity? What are they going to do after the damage is done? What can you do? The damage is done. What, is she going to tie it back up? What, you know?
Dee Dee says, but it's better her father and mother don't, do it, that they do it than anyone else. Well, let me get to you guys the other comments. And you said that was a typo. And Cindy says, it's a theory which is wrong. It only proves she did not have rough sex. That's a good point, too. And hello to everybody else who's on here. Hey, Michelle. And so, no, I actually agree with that on you. But to me, it's just better that you educate your children from Jump Street. You know what I mean? Educate your children from Jump Street. I mean, you taking it. To me, that is so humiliating. That now we all are talking about his daughter's virginity. You know what I mean? And it's like, you know, my dad is an older gentleman, and he always says, especially nowadays, that people talk up under women's clothes too much. You know, back in the day, women didn't talk up under women's clothes.
Well, they don't have to do that now because women are just outright exposing themselves.
I mean, I get that too, but here's her father that's talking up under her clothes.
Well, I remember when I had my stepdaughter and I had to take her to her annual thing, which I really didn't want to do. I went dragging and screaming and kicking. So I don't think I should have to do that, but my wife at the time was down in San Diego doing her thing, and the doctor's like trying to talk to me. And I'm like, I don't want to hear anything. Because I don't want to know. You know, it's my stepdaughter. It's none of my business. I'm just here to make sure she gets here, and if something comes up, report it.
Right. Well, I mean, so yeah, I feel very sad for her. I really do. And Cindy says, stop with the hybrid comment, Donovan.
Did I say hybrid?
No, I think you're kind of going back and forth with...
Oh, with Tiny being a half-breed.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Well, she is a half-breed. She is. Her mother's white, her father's black.
I got the sinking chair today. Maybe I need to lose a couple pounds. And then Tay says, what happened to having a conversation about sex? That's where I'm at with it. Tay is like, why do I need to... That is so demeaning.
I got a question for Miss Tay. You got 2 boys. Have you had that conversation with them?
And while we wait for that answer, I'm glad you brought that up because T.I. has openly talked about his sons not being virgins.
Yeah.
And I think one was 13 or something like that.
So that's okay? So we got a double standard?
Yeah, so his sons are out there breaking somebody's daughter's hymen. But you're concerned about your daughter's, right. You know, and I'm not saying he shouldn't be concerned. He should be concerned, but that to me, it's
a little too much.
It's disgusting. It's like it's so, like, and then he says he puts a sticky note on her door saying, oh, don't forget tomorrow it's gyno time, or...
See, I have a theory when it comes to people that never had money and they come into a lot of money, the craziness just ensues.
And somebody made a comment to me, too, that it's almost like T.I.'s...
He's in love with his daughter.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't think that's the case, but it kind of comes off as that a little bit, you know? Because some people make the argument that he's overprotective, and most dads are overprotective.
Well, yeah, right? when you get sent to federal prison for gun charges and all that, you know what I mean?
no shade to T.I. at all, but don't T.I. got a few baby mamas and
yes, he does.
was creeping on Tiny not too long ago. I mean, so it's like,
hitting the pills.
You might want to worry about your own pee hole, you know. And Jonelle says, this proves the Holy Ghost. And then Tay says, yes, my sons and I have been having conversations about sex for a while now, starting when they were young. And that's when it's supposed to start. When they're young, not when they, hit puberty and feeling themselves a little bit.
Like I said, that Dominic, you're going to have a lot of problems. Yeah, no, it's not a problem. It's the other parent's problem because they're going to have to deal with the baby. But
yeah, you're supposed to have the conversation, but forcing your child to disclose to you when I read it, because I saw it trending before I actually read it, because I'm one of those people, if I see something that looks kind of wild trending, I won't even look into it. I'm like, okay, that's some stupidness.
Right.
But then I kept seeing the trend. I was like, okay, let me see exactly what this is about. So I opened the article and I saw that. I was like, no, this is for real.
Wow.
And so the other thing I want to know is, where is Tiny? Because Tiny's not her mom, but she has a mom. Where are these women at with this? Are they okay with that? All right. I mean, because to me, I would think, as a girl, because she's 18, but she's a girl to us, that would kind of, do something to her.
Like mentally.
I would think. And then
it's traumatic.
Like somebody was saying, I saw somebody post that his daughter's name is Deja, that she's actually liking other people's social media posts that's dissing her dad.
Wow.
Yeah, so clearly she doesn't like it. And I don't see why she would like it. Maybe she feels like it's out of her control. Then I've seen a lot of people too talk about, well, in other cultures, they do that, I guess, because you can't get married if you're not a virgin or something like that.
When people bring that up, that is ridiculous. You're not of that culture, so why are you bringing that up? You're not of that culture. So just because, hypothetically, the green culture chops the head off of all their 5-year-olds, and it's okay over there, that has no bearing on me.
Right.
I'm not of that culture.
Right. No, I totally agree, but there's a lot of people who are saying that.
Stupid.
Other cultures are standard that men do that to their fathers, do that to their daughters to make sure that they're still pure.
Right. But he's not of that culture, so.
Well, he's not of that culture, and a lot of times too. I mean, I can't say what other people do in their culture, but a lot of times people think that's very barbaric. To do that.
In some cultures in the world, they actually sew the woman's vagina
and they circumcise her.
That's barbaric.
Yeah, by cutting off her, which gives her pleasure. I guess they don't want her to have sensation or pleasure.
Right. She's
supposed to just be having kids, Right. So are we going to do that too? Female circumcision? And let's see, Jonelle, you say, it shows insecurities and trust issues. You have to raise young girls to be intelligent in their choices on decisions, absolutely making. And decision making, in awareness of their sacredness, potential to bring greatness. Doctors are not trustworthy. He'd be wise to invest in awareness into her more so embarrassment and dissatisfaction, which leads to rebellion. Absolutely, and I'll tell you this, Jonelle, you're absolutely right. Most of my friends that I went to school with who had overbearing daddies. What?
It wasn't me. It wasn't mine.
No. But most of my female friends I went to school with that had overbearing daddies.
Right. They out there, huh?
Ooh,
they out there. Busting it wide open.
I mean, I'm saying if he was the fight.
Right. They busting it wide open.
Yeah, and I agree with that. It's like, okay. So, and I made a post. I was kind of joking about it, but I'm kind of serious too yesterday saying, well, and I'm paraphrasing, there's other holes.
Yeah. And when I saw that, I was like,
I mean, it is. There's other holes. You know what I'm saying? So if she's so terrified that, she wants to have sex with her, I can't, let's do it another way. And then, God forbid she gets some disease or something, just thinking because I just want to fool my dad and not being safe. She likes this guy or whatever. But to your point, just educate your daughter.
Yeah, you go to there's nothing worse than going to the doctor and they say, well, you've got an infection in your ear. Some people are into that. I'm just saying.
Well, if it's small enough to fit in her ear, then she don't.
Oh,
Never mind. So Tay says, what was gross were the comments on the young lady's IG page. Men were offering. Oh my God.
They were offering themselves.
Offering to pop her cherry and other ugly, inappropriate comments. See, but you know what, Tay? Her daddy opened that door, and that's what, like my dad say, talking up under women's clothes. You're talking up under your daughter's clothes.
Right. Do you remember a couple years ago, or I think over like 10 years ago, where some girls were selling their virginity on the internet?
Yeah, I've seen that.
And they were doing that, like, hey, and the thing is, as a man, how do you know? Women just started lying all of a sudden.
Well, I'm going to go and sell mine. How much is it going for? How much is it going for? What's it buying?
It depends. It's like an auction. I'm going to go this high. I'm going to go this high.
Hey, George, you say, did y'all talk about them damn spicy chicken sandwiches yet? I had two yesterday. Boo. Not yet. That's next up in the queue. We're going to start talking about the chicken sandwich. That's a whore.
Winco needs to make a chicken sandwich to put these people to shame, because there's not a lot of Wincos across the United States, so
can you imagine?
It'll be limited.
It's already a line at Winco. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
And hey, Perez, this says overbearing parents produce sneaky behavior from their children. Absolutely. Like I said, I went to school with girls whose fathers were that way, and I'm like, God, Lee, wow. And I was, because I had, like, my parents were protective, but they weren't like that. My parents were more having a conversation with you, saying, hey, this is what you should and should not do, and this is why.
Well, I can verify, after you did your ASB duties at the school and you jumped the fence and went down to Ramona,
I mean,
But you were of age at that time, right?
Yeah, but I didn't want to do those things because that stuff wasn't taboo to me. It wasn't like, you better not do this, you better not do that. Right. I didn't drink when I wasn't supposed to. I didn't do any of that stuff because it wasn't like... hidden, like, ooh, let me go see what my mom and dad is so desperately trying to keep me from, Hey, Tiffany.
I heard that.
And then Tay says, facts, replying to Perez. And then Cindy says, some of those freaks had overprotecting fathers. Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, I know people who have fathers like that. And Tay says, you're not wrong, D. There was an article where it said the more girls are having anal sex versus vaginal to preserve their virginity. Yeah. So how many of those girls are actually having unprotected anal sex?
But D,
I don't know nothing about that.
No. But D, we were talking about this a couple of weeks ago before you snuck down to Houston with your executive producer. That old lady that you were talking to, what you saving it for?
I get all that. What you saving it for? But you saving it for somebody who's worthy of it.
Of course. But when you get out of that and the life really hits you in the ass, and you say, you know what, it's no big deal. After the love is lost, what you saving it for?
Yeah. So you got these girls out there who are using other holes. I can't believe we're talking about this.
No, you're talking about it.
I mean, it's just the fact they are, and so it's because I don't want my daddy to find out that I'm not a virgin no more. So, and then I want to know, too, we going to talk about Popeyes. Everybody, we going to talk about that. But what I want to know, too, is, like, where is the doctor? And I mean, I know he's probably telling T.I., hey, she's an adult, but you would think he would say, you know what, I'm sorry. What you're doing is a bit much. I will not participate in what it is you're trying to do to your daughter.
Right.
If she wants to tell you when we leave here the results, great. But I'm not going to be sitting up here saying, well, per my test.
Yeah, where's the HIPAA law on that? You know what I mean?
There is a HIPAA law, which is why she had to sign a waiver saying that he could tell her dad. But the other thing that I don't think people really realize, people who are on the side of T.I. doing that to his daughter, I don't think what people realize is that's worse to me. Having a doctor invade her body, not because she might be sick or have something wrong with her, but because her father needs to have his
ego stroke
or his mind at ease that she's still a virgin. That's abusive. Because listen, I know you wouldn't know nothing about this, and no man would know. As a woman, we don't like getting pap smears and pelvic. We don't like. That's not a fun thing. Right. You know what I mean? So to force her to do that, and most of the time you got to go 2 or 3 times, every 2 to 3 years or so, depending on your age to get it. She's young, so she shouldn't need it that often. But her father is forcing her to do that once a year to satisfy his mind. That's just as abusive as having sex with somebody to me it is, that she doesn't want to have sex with.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think
Makes
about
sense.
it,
It
you
makes
know.
sense.
And let's see here. Sydney says, probably remembering how he smashed women. Yeah, you know, and I get it. Most men who are fathers think about their sescapades, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter has a father, and he just had to talk with her and say, hey, watch out for this, that, because I
Right.
know when I was out there on the prowl, you know, this is what we did. So I'm just, you know, putting you up on game.
You know, and the sad thing is I had 2 nieces, and they watched, you know, when I was in my prime, just running them down, knocking them down, right?
Really?
Running and knocking them down. I mean, it was a good run, but every good run comes in the end. So fellas, don't be fooling yourselves. You got the big belly now. And you know, when the game is over, it's over. So what kills me is I told them everything. I even told them to read the book Pimp by Iceberg Slim.
I have my nephews read that, and my daughters.
Because, you know, it's about mind control. Pimping is about mind control. And I don't want to go into another thing, but if you ever get the chance to read the book, have a young girl read that, because when you know game can't be run on you.
That's the game right there.
And that's exactly what I told her. You know, I said, give them these examples of things I was going through, because I didn't want them to fall prey to bullshit.
Right. Yeah, no, absolutely.
Ask me if they listened.
Maybe they just hasn't caught up to
Hasn't caught up to yet. Yeah.
And Reginald, yes, we are going to talk about that damn chicken Popeyes epidemic. And Sydney says, I remember the girls went to the Catholic schools having gangbangs while as teenagers in high school. Yeah, I mean, I've heard about those things too.
Hey, I went to Catholic school. Those girls were virgins until they graduated. No, really, the Catholic girls were the worst ones. They were.
And Dee Dee says, if it ain't anally, if it's anally or sexually, it's still sex. No, absolutely.
Yeah.
But, you know, per T.I.'s the train of thought, if you will, or line of thinking, he's only concerned about the one area. You know, as long as the hymen's in check, she's still a virgin. She's been untouched.
Right.
She's just been untouched there. You
know, and here's another thing. When I ended up getting married and stuff, and, you know, it's like that, people go, oh, you know, that myth about, you know, oh, yeah, I want a virgin. I don't want a virgin. I really wouldn't want one. You want somebody that has. I don't want her to be out there.
Okay.
But you know, you want somebody with the experience, because it's like, okay, look, I need to girl. You got to talk. Okay, now you move to the next. You know, they don't know what to do, and they're. You know, I don't want one, so I don't see what the. Go ahead. Got it.
Jonelle says, just look at the pastor's children. They be the wildest, so there's no protection, but awareness, and the definition of purpose of sexual intercourse is what majority, old and young, must understand. Must understand there is a science to mating. The decision making is most important, more so than random selecting. We're dealing with DNA, genetic rooted formula, as the Honorable Minister Farrakhan teaches in depth in his 4-part lecture series, How to Give Birth to a God. I like that. No, but absolutely. I mean, I said that the other day on my page. I think that people should be certified to have sex, which means that you fully understand the purpose. You know, it's not just like you said, not putting any thought into it, making a good decision, just out there, and then you have a kid, and it's like, oh my God, you know, or you get something you can't get rid of. You know?
How many times? I mean, and I really feel bad for the kids nowadays, because I don't care how many times you tell them. It's just like this drugs and stuff. You say, hey, you do drugs, bad things can happen. I mean, and now you're seeing the results. Not in all cases of there's a mental health issue in America, which is really big. But some of these people are out in the streets as fiends because they're on drugs.
Right.
You know, and you could tell them 100 million times, and they still, it's not going to happen to me.
Right. Well, you know.
All it takes is one time for somebody to lace your stuff, and your brain is fried.
That's it. And Tay says T.I.'s behavior is opening up a door to how other men will be allowed to treat her. Absolutely. And really just kind of from her standpoint, you know, just being overly controlled. Now, admittedly, we don't know the whole
story
relationship that T.I. and his daughter has, but we know this part, and we shouldn't know this part. We should know this part about she's a baby. She's 18. She's a baby. Okay. And here the whole world is, and to, you know, someone else's point, you know, men and boys are going on his daughter's page.
Yep. Hey, when you're ready, give me a call.
Yeah, you know, so with that, it's awful. And so from her standpoint, you know, maybe she'll get with men who are controlling to her, you know, over her that way. And that's not good. And Dee Dee says, but the HIPAA law is different in different states. Now, absolutely. And from what I understand, T.I. was saying the doctor was telling him, well, she's an adult, so, you have to get her permission. And it sounds like that's not an issue because he's like, she's going to sign the paper, so we're not worried about that.
Because without the money, anyway. Real quickly before we go.
Sure.
What is the best form of flattery?
Imitation.
Imitation. And I want to give a shout out to my cousin, Ben, and his wife. They are doing a review on the Popeyes Wendy's chicken sandwich, and they're trying to, they got the male, female, you know what I mean? I love it. I love it. The information's getting out. We're doing what we got to do. So nice. I'm gonna check out the show. He did it on YouTube. I'm gonna check out the show, Ben, a little bit later. So
cool. So anyway, Cindy says by law, once you sign a waiver, the doctor can't tell or can't say, I can't do this, I can't do that. But it sounds like she's saying that it's okay for her dad to see what's going on with her body.
Yeah, I don't know why he would do that. I said, I had a stepdaughter, and I was like, I don't want to know. Unless it's something, like life and death, and I got to tell the mom right now.
But that's what I'm saying. It's almost like T.I. is saying, this is my vagina. I want to make sure my vagina's all right. I mean, to me, that's a little bit on the disgusting side.
Yeah, because if I had a daughter, I don't know what she does at high school or out in the streets, but look, when she gets married, she's all yours, bro.
Right. And then Sydney says Donovan over pimping at the strip club and running through them. The rabbitest guy knows he can't do that no more.
Well, you guys, some of the guys that know me, I did back in the 90s and stuff. I had friends that went into the adult entertainment industry, and and they gave me a whole spill of how that thing worked.
Right.
And back then, I thought I was like, oh, I could do it. No, I can't. And no, you can't either. I'm telling you. 12 people in the room and you think you're going to perform. They didn't have the pills. So you think you're going to perform with 12 people looking at you and cameras and lights. No, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Thank you for that. Okay. And then Jonelle says random doctor appointments of that nature is a penalty to privacy, especially if not done by a female doctor. Even with a female, there's a risk. As a man, no one even feels secure with a prostate check. That feels like rape. So imagine how she feels. That's what I'm saying, Jonelle. To have that forced upon you once a year so your daddy could be all right, knowing that you're still a virgin, that's abusive. That is very abusive. And George says, okay, but what about them sandwiches though? Okay, so let's get to it.
Everybody wants to get to the sandwich. Let's get to the sandwiches.
Sandwich right now, and I'll get to the rest of the comments. Okay, so as you guys have seen, the cold part about this, I can't even eat the damn sandwich because I'm a vegan. But anyway, let's get to it. So this past Sunday, Popeyes chicken, love that chicken for Popeyes. Love
that chicken for Popeyes.
They re-released their chicken sandwich. They have a spicy one.
They're gonna hit you again.
Yes. They had to re-release it because when it came out, I guess it was August or something like that. They ran out because this craze took place, and what happened was, I guess it was a challenge issued to Chick-fil-A by Popeyes, because I guess Chick-fil-A had the notoriously good chicken sandwich. They're closed on Sundays, and then everybody got
still making the money,
right? But everybody got wind of the Popeyes chicken sandwiches, and all
hell broke loose.
Like literally, they didn't break loose; it busted wide open. Right?
Yeah, aren't there reports of people getting beat up and employees being dragged out, and employees are starting to fight? And
so the first wave of I can't say the C word on here, of the shenanigans, a guy ran off into Popeyes threatening to shoot people, I guess, because they ran out of chicken sandwiches.
Lord!
A dude hopped up into the drive-through window because I don't know why, they ran out of chicken, I guess, chicken sandwiches. He and they're fighting with the people. So this was like some of the stuff we saw on the first chicken release. The second time, which is, okay, so we're Friday. We're not even a week out from the chicken sandwich being re-released. A guy was shot to death. Not shot, stabbed. I'm sorry, stabbed. He was stabbed because I guess he cut in line. And so the dude stabbed him up. And I guess they're still, I don't know if they found the guy. They're still looking for the guy. That did the murder, the stabbing behind the chicken sandwich. We've seen, and now, admittedly, it's not just us. It's mostly us. We've seen some white dudes fighting in the drive-through line because somebody touched his truck. We've seen some other people. This lady was ramming her car into another car because I guess the other car was trying to cut into the drive-through. Some white dude got mad up in Popeyes and he was running and calling them niggas, and they ate his lunch literally when he got outside. As the first video you saw, he's like, you niggers, show your niggers. And everybody's like, oh my God, but they're not getting out of line, right? So then they show the other video when on the outside.
Yeah. I mean, my brother told me that. He's like, oh,
they ate his lunch literally.
They handled him right then.
Yes.
And for those of us in the military, some installations have a Popeyes chicken. There hasn't been any incidents on the base.
Well, they probably got enough.
Yeah, and then my brother was like, I haven't been over there yet, but I've been handling it because, my brother's a big Waffle House king, so he'll be over there sooner or later.
There's another of a lady, she's going buck wild in Popeyes. I guess somebody got smart with her or something. Mm-hmm. And she's like, you just get my goddamn sandwiches ready. Just make my sandwiches. And I was like,
oh my God, mental illness.
What is in these sandwiches? Is it crack? Is it what is it?
It could be anything.
It's just pure niggadom. Just broke loose.
Well, and the thing is, how do we know that this isn't an experiment to show you the stereotype of how much black people like chicken?
You know what? And I'll take it a step further. I'm going to get to you guys' comments. I wouldn't even doubt that's an experiment to get rid of half of the idiots.
Right.
Because nothing is... Okay, let me say this.
Go ahead.
I'm not trying to chicken sandwich shame nobody. There's nothing wrong with anybody having a chicken sandwich. But it is something wrong when the chicken sandwich... And, somebody made a good point. Is that it's not necessarily that it's the chicken. Well, maybe it is. The actual chicken... Yeah. It's the symbolism of, like the fear of missing out, if you will, or I gotta have it. It's the hype around it, but still, it's chicken.
But okay. But here's I want to piggyback on that. What about this? They want to get rid of black. They've been trying to get rid of us for years, right? You do a test bed, and you say, okay, let's get this chicken out here, get these niggers, get these people used to this, it's gonna be great like that. Now. They embed it with a biochemical agent.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Not now, not to and
if they wanted
disclaimer. I'm not saying that that's what they're doing.
Yeah, we're not saying that. But if they wanted to, oh my God,
this is a good way to set it up to happen. But if you want to go ahead and have your chicken, do what you got to do. So.
I'm not chicken shaming nobody, but damn, I'm ashamed of the stuff that I've seen. And George,
because with this foolishness that's going on, this hysteria that's going on about a chicken sandwich.
Chicken sandwich.
Why? Where's that hysteria when it comes time to voting? Where's that hysteria when it comes?
Now you're talking too much shit.
Sorry.
Stop it. And George says, "Thank you. Those chicken sandwiches are just okay. Definitely not stab a motherfucker and catch it tastes good. I mean, damn.
I don't want to be left out though. I just want to.
I'ma stab you though.
Right. And to me, it's no different than black people buying. My kids got to wear Nikes, but you can't afford Nikes, but they got to have it. Name brand. Remember when Champion was at Kmart?
Yeah, right. Now Champion, you can't get Champion.
It's like $9 now for a shirt.
I remember a time, maybe it was way before our time, but the chicken was attributed to black people.
Yes.
Chicken and watermelon. And
the stereotype.
Love chicken. Black people and they chicken. And so now in 2019, we've made that come true.
Yes.
We just cooning for chicken.
Well, at where the white people go, the baked chicken, they're going crazy over that baked chicken. No.
I've seen some white people getting the crumb too, but not as much as us. And Cindy said, so I was scrolling through Twitter and grandmother of porn said, Nina Hartley said T.I. is a fool. Oh, sorry, the grand or the godmother.
Oh, yeah. The white lady, Nina Hartley.
Nina Hartley said, T.I. is a fool. A lot of women can't have sex and not even have it torn, or can have sex and not even have it torn. And that's a porn star who was a nurse.
Yeah, she had a degree in nursing.
Leaving to do porn. Well, obviously, T.I. is very uneducated and thinking. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Well, where's the doctor in all of this? I mean, it sounds like the doctor's trying to educate him a little bit, but really just grabbing him by the collar and saying, look, man, stop bringing my daughter here and having me participate in this nonsense.
Get the hell out of here. But then what about those laws that they're forcing women to have abdominal inspections at the Planned Parenthood places and stuff like that? They're doing legislation to do that.
I haven't heard anything about that.
Nobody's talking about that.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about it. Ain't nobody going to force me to do nothing.
And the doctors or the facility has to have a record of their periods. I mean, just straight invasion of women's privacies.
Yeah. I don't know what you want to do with it, All right, Cindy says, let me find out Donovan was out there with porn stars. No, he legitly knows porn stars.
Yeah. I mean,
legitly.
I don't judge people.
Not just know them, but hangs out with them.
Yeah. but and here's another thing. Don't just because somebody that's their profession. It's like me being a military person. I'm not the kind of person that judges a person that I had friends with. If I was a friend with you and we grew up together, let's say,
right,
and I have a friend right in high school I went to. She got into the adult industry. What am I supposed to shun her because she's in the... No, I'm not going to judge her. I'm just going to say, hey, let's
be safe.
Yeah, be safe.
Yeah. So. And Tay says the sandwich is good, but not that good. I have to take your word for it. I mean, I at this point, even if I did eat meat, I would be scared to taste it because now my mind is wondering what the hell is in that sandwich.
Look, for all y'all arguing and hollering about the chicken sandwich and you don't like it because you got the chef all up in the ingredients, all dancing in the video, come on over to Winco. You know what I'm saying? That was a take on Suge Knight.
We know.
Come on over to Winco.
Jonelle says, cooling at its finest, even whites are fighting over the chicken. I'm telling you, it got to be something in it, like a little bit of crack. There's a little bit of crack in the flour.
Or a new type of...
It's something. I don't trust it. Mm-hmm. And you say, fighting over the chicken is clearly something in those sandwiches. People would be wise to stay away from that, which they're not producing. It's truly... it's truly 100% savagery. Imagine the time of famine. Stock up now while you can, because majority is under chemical formulas, unaware.
Yes.
I'm telling you, Jonelle, I'm serious. I would be afraid to eat that sandwich.
Yes. And for those guys that are at home, you don't need no Popeye chicken. Mama make you a chicken sandwich right at home.
That's right.
Now give me that bell pepper and give me some onions.
That's right. Man.
Mama make the same thing.
I'm telling you, my mama's fried chicken. Woo, boy, Popeyes where? I'm just saying, we acting like we ain't never had no chicken sandwich before. You get that light bread and put the drumstick in there with some hot sauce.
Exactly.
Just don't bite the bone.
Right. Or get you the thigh.
Yeah.
And get the meat. You got the little bone.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Be careful. Anyway, hey Daisy, it says just dummy. It says it's a dumb chicken shame.
Damn chicken shame.
That it is. A damn chicken shame. And Didi says, I still haven't tried that sandwich. I don't want it. Honestly, give it a few years. Well, Didi, you a chef anyway, so I don't think you be sitting up in no Popeyes. I've seen some of the stuff you make. Bomb. He says, give it a few years. Popeye's going to say that. Cooked in synthetic motor oil. Ain't that something? Laugh out loud. I'm just mortified of that sandwich. People need to keep that same energy getting into the voting booths. No, absolutely. I don't know how much the chicken sandwich is. Was it? I think
$7, $7, $8, $9. I think $11. I think it's $11.
For that shit. You lie.
No. I'm sorry. Because just getting a regular meal is like that's why another reason I go to Popeyes, because just to get a value meal is like $8, $9. So I just stopped going. I mean, whatever. But so I'm thinking the chicken sandwich, I think it goes for like $7. I think it's like $7.
This chicken sandwich is $7 and people doing all of that? Yeah. Hell, you can go to Winco and get you a whole chicken and fry it up at the house.
We can give you 8 pieces already fried.
I guess. Hey, Pamela says, I have not tried that sandwich yet. I think I will try it. Well, let us know.
Let us know. Mm-hmm.
Let us know if it's all the... Have you tried it? I'm not sure you lying.
I'm dedicated to Winco. No, Popeyes is too expensive. Is there a coupon? If there's a coupon, I'll go to Popeyes and try.
You're also a chicken connoisseur.
I am.
I can't believe you have not tried the chicken sandwich yet.
Popeyes is too expensive. It's out of my budget.
I'm going to tell you what it is. It's not that the chicken is too expensive for Donovan. Donovan is just too bougie for the sandwich, because I can see him now will not be caught dead. Standing in that line, waiting for a chicken sandwich.
My dignity is just too much.
Somebody might see you. Take a picture of you.
No, seriously though. It's just too, Popeyes is too, I mean, I can't go there anymore. I just can't. I mean,
I haven't been in years. Even before I went vegan, I haven't been.
Executive producer Al Jackson will back me up. Winco, if y'all want, come on over to Winco.
Winco's a grocery store out here, you guys. It has, apparently has good fried chicken. I've never had it. And Al says...
Al got hooked the first time we took him
there. Okay. He says, it's the price, $4 for a sandwich and $6 for the meal. That includes fries and a drink. Now, he's in Houston.
See, that's about $7.
So maybe it's a little bit more.
Yeah, here.
I'm sure it's more out here.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's a good deal. $4 for a sandwich.
Yeah, down there, but they want $9, $10 here.
To me, $4 for a chicken sandwich is still. I mean, for a Popeye, maybe I could see if it was somewhere like a restaurant.
I can get 4 pieces at Winco, 2 legs and 2 thighs for $3.86 at Winco.
$3.86 on the dot, huh?
$3.86. And look,
with your red dot hot sauce.
Yes.
And your can of Glory Greens.
That's it, my Glory Greens.
Oh, you're welcome, Dee Dee. Yes, she's a chef, so she ain't trying to be a big old pie.
Yeah, is she out here?
Where are you? No, she's not in California.
No, yeah, okay, yeah. That's right. She's
and then
else.
you also say Chick-fil-A is better anyway. I said what I said. Laugh
right,
out.
Gotcha.
That's what people say, but I've heard people say that they think Popeyes is better. I have to take their word for it.
Well, I heard Kentucky Fried Chicken is coming out with a comparative chicken. Look. It just
all y'all Negroes.
Yeah, no. It just hit me. It just hit me.
Okay.
It is ridiculous. We're debating chicken.
You know what? I thought that a couple seconds before you said it. Like,
I mean, we're debating chicken,
and I can't even eat it. That's the I can, but I don't. And Jonelle says we've been the ones hooking up that chicken from day one before Popeyes. Colonel's recipe was stolen from us. Harold's Chicken needs to be supported like these white-owned companies, and we just need to get back to cooking for ourselves.
Sisters don't cook.
Sisters cooking that yard bird, man.
Sisters don't cook no more. Hey, remember, I used to love, Pioneer Chicken? It was right off Van Buren.
Back in the day,
remember off Van Buren?
Pioneer Chicken.
And I used to just love the crust.
Yeah,
I would just,
my parents used to go there.
Man, that was good.
Sometimes after church, Pioneer Chicken. Yes.
And get you a bucket of Pioneers and you're good. You know?
But you know what, though? I've actually had Harold's Chicken. It's pretty good. It's Chicago-style chicken. Okay. It's pretty good. But I like your last comment in that where are the women or men, if you will,
nobody's cooking anymore. They don't cook anymore.
You know, where were the women saying, shoot, forget that fry. I remember, to Donovan's point, making a joke about, chicken. I'll make you some chicken at the house. When we was kids, we'd be mad like, you cheapo.
Yeah,
right. I don't want your funky fried chicken.
Right.
But, when we older, it's like, shoot, I would do, I'd stab you over my mama's fried chicken.
Look. As much as, my mom's getting older and stuff like that, and I think a lot of us do this. I swear, I look forward to my mom visiting here.
Because your mom had a spread when I came over here.
Because for 2 days while she's here on her vacation or whatever she's doing here, she's in the kitchen cooking.
I spread, okay?
Gumbo, everything.
None of this.
It was unbelievable. And that's when we really start appreciating it. Because
when I came over that day, it smelled like your mama was home. How your mama house smell when you cooking? She cooking. It's like
the onion is in the air.
It's just like Thanksgiving all the time. It's like
yes. I mean, look, she made that gumbo for all my friends that came over.
And every time she's come, I could not eat it.
And every time my mom makes gumbo, there is none left when it's done, and she makes a big old pot.
Like, she's from Louisiana, for real.
Right.
And Al says, I would never understand the pickle in the chicken sandwich. My effing God. I like pickles. You like pickles?
No.
Who's kind of
no.
Negroes is y'all?
Not in my chicken.
I like chicken. I mean, pickles. Yeah. I like chicken, too.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Abdullah. And then Al says, it says, Winco is the absolute best chicken.
See? Right there.
Okay, so these from Seattle.
Okay,
yes,
that's right up the way.
Then executive chef.
Oh, right. Okay. Hey, it's about knowing the right people.
That's right.
Okay.
So. And she says, I cook my family well fed. Absolutely. Okay. Right, because you're a chef. Yeah, wouldn't that be something? I ain't cooking it yet. Go on to get some Popeyes. They got the $8.99 special.
And that's what happened. The way our politics are, and the way these politicians have done us, they've tricked the women, not just black women, to come out of the house because it only took one person to make the income, no matter how many kids you had.
Right.
Now it takes 2 people, and they're still barely making it. Right. And the kids are eating top ramen and sodium, especially in our community. It's a fact. Go look it up. Our kids suffer from high blood pressure at a young age because
we all do.
Right. Well,
I'm talking about black people.
Yeah, but specifically now because these mothers do not have time to cook and they're feeding their kids top ramen.
You know, I didn't work a lot. I worked 4 days a week. I did 4 10s when my daughter was younger, and I did not feed her top ramen.
That's what I'm saying. Get up. Do what
It's
you gotta do.
It's not. To me, it's not food.
Right.
You know, that would have. If she ate it, it wasn't like a meal. It's for dinner.
It's like a snack.
You want chicken
Right.
or beef.
Mm-hmm.
You
right.
know?
Yeah, you want to feed them.
Yeah, you want to give them some nutrients because that's how I was brought up.
Right.
You know, my mom cooks and she cooked food. It wasn't going to make herself a bowl of cereal.
And mom and grandmama, they didn't just cook. They planned it out. Okay, I'm gonna cook all this it'll be a couple of days, and you eat